Hello, everyone. Allison Steinberg here with LindellTV. We are at the Maha Institute talking about vaccine injuries and alternative health methods. We're here with Tom Kerber, the president and founder of SunPowerLED.com.
Yeah.
Tom, thank you so much for being with us today. We were just having a really great conversation about red light and the incredible health benefits that result from using this consistently. Talk to us a little bit about how you got into this world and about some of the benefits.
As a matter of fact, if you would have told me 20 years ago I'm going to shine red light on your shoulder and it's going to get rid of inflammation on your shoulder, I would have told you you're smoking something. There's no way I could believe that. But what happened was I ended up meeting a doctor and for my wife's condition and to try and help her. This is going back 20 years ago. And we had already improved the situation of her where she was bedridden for a year and a half, but much earlier than that. But we slowly worked on all sorts of alternative health stuff because the normal medical was not providing anything other than here's some more psychotic drugs to try and, she's not on any psychotic drugs now, but I mean, just even the short period, it's all in your head, right? You know, so they want to
dole out medication.
Yeah, so in her case, I was able to help her very slowly, go to all sorts of people, doctors and that. But when I met up with this doctor, he said, he says, you know, he's going through the list trying to figure out what's wrong with my wife. And I've been self-employed for 45 years, so we've gone through the dregs of financial and all sorts of stress. I mean, stress, you could cut it, okay? And he says to her, he says, is there any, stress can cause all sorts of problems. Is there any stress in your life you can get rid of?
And the question of the century.
And she starts pointing at me. He's the stress maker.
Oh my gosh.
So that was the start because he asked me, what do you do? And I actually made one of the first lights on the market for hardening the white fillings. It's a very, very powerful blue light using the first high-power blue LEDs that were ever available. They were $70 a piece at the time. And so we made this device for the dentist to harden the filling. And I was first on the market with 3M. And that wasn't fair competition. They have much deeper pockets. But he says, can you make that in red? And I'm like, why red? He says, well, red is the right color to activate a drug that kills cancer. And this was a drug that's already was approved in Canada, actually, in I think it was 2005. So it was a long time ago. Sorry, that would even be back before then, I think in 1999. Anyways, it was for bladder cancer, but you use this drug and then you use light to activate it. Just like you use light to activate the hardener in your tooth. But this selectively, the drug ends up selectively in the cancer cells. And what you do is you turn, 4 hours later, you turn on the light and you kill the cancer that way, very, very selectively. So I was able to work with him for many years, 3.5 years as a matter of fact. And then unfortunately, we're going to launch a big study for breast cancer with a hospital with 20,000 breast cancer patients a year. And, well, it was a bad story. At 52 years old, somehow he managed to die in his garden while gardening. Okay, so, you know, we've been able to help with different things, but that's one of the companies. But then what happened is I thought I still wouldn't have believed red light could help anything, but I did flying lessons off a ladder. It's not recommended. The flying was fine. It was the landing that hurt. But I've damaged my L4, L5, and every year, 2 years, I go through excruciating pain for months. And then at that time, I thought, what if I put this powerful red light that I just made, what if I tried it on my back? And when I did, I was probably at about a pain of about an 8. And in 20 minutes, I dropped to a pain of 3. And within 20 minutes. And I thought, oh my gosh, every chiropractor is every physiotherapist will want one of these. Unfortunately, many chiropractors and many physios would love you to be there for 30 visits.
That's right. I was going to say, they're not going to like it so much if it means you actually get out of their office, right?
Yeah, no. So that's what opened my mind. That was my aha moment was, wow, this light can help. And now what we've been able to do is, that's 20 years ago, and we've continued to improve the light and do the things that I know because of my electronic background, where we now have a helmet that can penetrate the brain with very, very powerful near-infrared light, and we can reduce inflammation in the brain, which is very, very key, what I understand, with autism and with strokes and concussions and PTSD and all those kinds of things. We can reduce that inflammation. If you do, we've had people, the kids with autism, that have come out and used this light. And even one, I was just saying to you about the one kid that's 4 years old, that after the nonverbal, after the very first treatment at night, the next day he was this babbling, and within 1 week speaking. So we think we can make a huge difference in this area.
That's incredible. I mean, I've heard so many positive success stories related to red light and the regular use of it. I mean, it can cure such an array of illnesses, right? I mean, talk to us about some of the specific areas that it targets, specific diseases it can help aid in.
Yeah, one of the challenges is to have enough light power. Okay, if you have somebody, you're going on a ship and it's extremely dark, a cruise, and somebody falls overboard, what do you need to see that person? Light, right? Okay, you can either fire up a Bic lighter, or you can fire up 100,000 candle power light, and you'll see them at a half a mile. Which one will do the job?
Probably more light.
The searchlight, right? Yes. And our product is really much, much different than the standard red light therapy out there, in that we have extremely powerful light, and it's all built in North America.
Interesting. So how often do you have to use it to see some of these really intense results? And like, what's the ideal method? Is it like a panel? Is it a helmet? I mean, is there different options?
Yeah, so it would really depend on the issue. So if you have, let's say, knee pain or shoulder pain, you don't need a helmet. Although I've had some people using the helmet.
Well, if you want to grow long, beautiful hair, you can use the helmet, right?
As a matter of fact, a few weeks ago, I got a podcast every webinar every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, and I had one of the women, she was commenting how she's using it all for sorts of things on her body, but she says, look at my hair, I finally got hair. Wow. So yes, it was growing hair. That's not my thing. I mean, I want to get people better when they have shoulder injury or knee injury or something like that, or arthritis or those kinds of things. But I'm really excited about now seeing the openness of RFK and just this whole new initiative on health. We're looking at the possibility, well, not possibility, we're starting an Alzheimer's study in a senior's home. We're getting a migraine. We've been able to, migraine study. We've been able to, that's going to happen in Pittsburgh. The other one is in Dallas, and we've got an opiate addiction and depression study that we did 2 years ago that shows we can really improve the lives of people. And you know what? That was 2 3-minute treatments a week.
Really?
Yeah.
Incredible.
That's crazy stuff.
That's amazing. That is truly amazing. So I guess now the question is, if people want to learn more, they want to go purchase one of these amazing red lights, how do they go find you?
Thank you. Well, they would go to SunPowerLED, so sun as in the sky, power as in electricity, and LED. If you got to do SunPowerLED. If you just do SunPower, you end up with solar panels for your house. So you need SunPowerLED. I also have a YouTube channel with 140 videos there of all kinds of doctors and researchers and psychiatrists and you name it, so they can learn a lot. There's a lot of research. As a matter of fact, there's 7,500 research articles that are on my website under research. That's a database that somebody else developed. So this is not just a hocus pocus fairy dust. This is real studied information, and we're hoping to get this really moving out there in a lot of research, because that's which will good research. I should qualify that.
That's true. It could be questionable these days, but we know that the researchers out there who are saying trust the science probably aren't shedding light on the red light therapy, right?
No. They don't want something that could help somebody so quickly. There's a lot of push to just have another pill for another ill, and long term that doesn't do well on the body.
Well, I know I'm certainly very interested in the red light therapy. I think I'm going to ask my husband to get me one for my birthday, because my birthday's tomorrow, and now I want a red light. So everyone go check it out. Tom, thank you so much for all that you're doing, and thanks for joining us. I appreciate it. Now, I actually had the opportunity to try this red light device. I mentioned to Tom that I was having severe migraines, which I've been suffering from for months now, and he said, well, I might just have the cure for you. So he busted out his amazing red light helmet. I put it on for 6 minutes, and I'm not even kidding you, the migraine was gone. In fact, I feel better than I have in a long time. I feel totally clear-headed. The aches and pains behind my eyes have totally dissipated. Again, this is after 6 minutes in the red light helmet. Literally life-changing. If it can get rid of a migraine in 6 minutes, just imagine what it can do for your overall health. Just incredible stuff. This is breakthrough technology. And the fact that it is not being used by most doctors, I think, tells you everything you need to know. This is incredible, and I highly encourage everyone to check it out.